Welcome to the eCommerce Badassery podcast, the place for scrappy female entrepreneurs who want to learn actionable steps and strategies to grow the traffic, sales, and profit in your e-commerce business. I'm your host, Jessica Totillo-Coster, a 20-year retail veteran who spent 3 years as the only employee of a 7-figure online store. That shit was crazy. I know exactly how it feels to do all the things, and I'm sharing everything I learned the hard way so you don't have to. I may have started this business by accident, but supporting badass bosses like you lights me the fuck up, and I am so stoked to see you grow. Are you ready, babe? Let's roll. Welcome back to the eCommerce Badassery podcast. I'm your host, Jessica Totillo-Coster. All this month, I've been posting mini episodes so you can breeze through the content while still running your business during the busy holiday season. So let's hop right into it. With 2021 right around the corner, now is the perfect time for you to start building better habits in your business. So let's talk about 5 things you can start doing in 2021 to step into your role as CEO. First thing, start tracking your sales and traffic numbers every single week. If you want a template to work from, sign up for the eCommerce Badassery free resource library. It's got every freebie I've ever created all in one place, and listen to episode 7 of the podcast. You can get access to the library at ecommercebadassery.com/free stuff. And you'll also want to start making data-driven decisions from those numbers that you're tracking every week and the campaign recaps that you do after each campaign, season, quarter, year, etc. And you can learn more about that process in episode 11 of the podcast. I want you to get in the habit of reviewing these numbers on a weekly basis, Mondays preferably. And you're not necessarily going to take action from those numbers every week, but the goal is to start recognizing patterns and creating a baseline to work from. So for instance, if you see that a specific social media channel is consistently performing well, and then all of a sudden 1 week it's really off, you can then go back and diagnose where the problem might have been. But if you're not looking at those numbers regularly, you're not going to necessarily notice that kind of stuff. Second, start delegating. Are there things you're still doing in your business that maybe you shouldn't be? Are there tasks that are below your pay grade as the CEO? The beginning of the year is a great time to evaluate your team structure and start filling in the gaps. And that doesn't mean you have to go out and hire a full team from day one, because managing a team of people is a task all its own. So if you haven't hired before, maybe you just start with a VA who can take some admin tasks off of your plate. That reporting we just talked about being one of them. If you struggle to give up control, I challenge you to dig deep on why that is and be really real with yourself. Believe me, I get it because I struggle with the same thing. But at some point, we have to just accept that no one is going to do the job as well as us because it's not their business. And sometimes we just have to settle for B+ work. That doesn't mean your business is going to fail. And truth be told, even when you're the one doing something, there are probably a lot of times when we should be accepting B+ work from ourselves too. Because we know we can get into trouble when we find ourselves down a rabbit hole trying to get things perfect when they probably never will be. If you do already have a team, now is a great time to evaluate how is everyone doing? Do you have the right butts in the right seats? Is everyone doing a job they enjoy and feel passionate about? Is it the right path for them? Part of your job as the leader is to ensure that you're using everyone to their potential and meeting their needs. If you have someone super creative in a fully operational role, it's likely they're going to eventually get bored or burnt out. And maybe you're not in a position to fully change their role right now, but you might be able to get them involved in other aspects of the business to feed that creative side while they continue to do the day-to-day of their current position. You'll also want to make sure the roles you do have are actually contributing to the business. Maybe you have someone who's fully focused on the wholesale side of your business, while that doesn't contribute as much as your e-commerce store does anymore. So how else can you utilize that person in your business to make sure you're getting the best bang for your buck? Third is to look at your expenses and see what you might be able to cut back on or how you can reallocate your resources. So often we sign up for platforms or apps or memberships that we end up not using, and we forget to evaluate these things periodically. So there may be some things you can get rid of to lower your expenses. Or it might be time to shuffle things around. Maybe you're spending money on a big social media agency when hiring a smaller agency would be a better fit and cost you less. This could free up some cash to invest in something else you've been wanting to do, or to put towards that, staff member or employee you realized you need when you were assessing your team. 4 is to evaluate your product assortment. Take a look at your best and worst performing items. Start leaning into your best sellers and potentially get rid of those that aren't contributing to your business. I did a live recently in the eCommerce Badassery Facebook group, and this was a top priority for a few of the people there. Ultimately, cutting back on your product assortment means less cash tied up in inventory you're not selling, less time, energy, and effort managing and sourcing that inventory, less space in your warehouse, and more energy and resources to lean into your best-selling items. That could mean buying deeper into them so you can increase your margin, expanding on the variations of that item so you can sell more of them to the same people, or even just freeing up some more space in your marketing calendar to feature those best sellers more often. 5th, get help and support if you need it. Want to finally get all your email automations in place and generating revenue on autopilot? Hire an expert to help. Been trying to do ads on your own with no success? Hire an expert to help. Want to implement on-page SEO to grow the organic traffic to your website? Yep, hire an expert to help. And did your business grow unexpectedly this year and now you feel like you can't catch up? Do you need to finally get those systems and processes in place? Hire an expert to help you. I think you get the point. When you really want to grow your business in a sustainable way, you can't do it alone and you don't have to. And once you sit down to evaluate all these things we just talked about, if you realize you need help in any of those areas, email, SEO, structure, growth, ads, book a free discovery call and let's see how I can help. That's what I'm here for. And know that I'm doing the same thing in my business because I started this as a side hustle. And I was really just flying by the seat of my pants for the beginning of it because it took off faster than I expected. And I still had this really demanding day job. And I didn't even have the mental capacity to think about what I needed. And then I went full time in the business. And then I was catching up from all that other time where it was the side hustle, right? And now I'm finally in a place of all right, finally I got my legs. I feel caught up, and now I can really sit down and focus and figure out what is next for eCommerce Badassery in 2021. Who do I need to hire to support me? It's a great time for you to do this too. And I recommend you honestly do this every year. You might want to do this every 6 months, depending upon how fast your business is growing and changing. You get it. I'll stop harping on that now. That's a wrap for today. I hope you have a very happy holiday, and I will see you on the flip side, friend. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you like what you heard, I'd be so grateful if you'd leave a review on Apple Podcasts, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you're looking to surround yourself with more product entrepreneurs who totally get your life right now, get your booty on over to the eCommerce Badassery Facebook group. Can't wait to see you there. Until next time, e-commerce friends, stay badass.